This is Thing Man. I just wanted to make a quick video before bed because I haven't made a video in a while. So, I'm going to read for a few minutes from a book called That's a Fact, Jack, a new collection of utterly useless information. And some of these, it's just trivia, but some of it's really interesting. So, here we go. Dolly the sheep, the first clone mammal, was named after country singer Dolly Parton. Stockman dubbed the sheep Dolly because she was cloned from a mammary cell. Gregor Mendel, the father of genetics, twice failed the certification exam to become a high school science teacher. Potatoes have more chromosomes than humans, 48 versus our 46. The potato chip was created out of spite in 1853 when a customer at Moon's Lake House in Saratoga Springs, New York, complained that head chef George Crumb's potatoes were soggy and not salty enough. Crumb stomped back to the kitchen, thinly sliced some potatoes, fried them until they were golden, poured salt all over them, and dumped them in front of the picky customer. They became known as Saratoga chips until Herman Lay, an enterprising young salesman, popularized the product throughout the country. Mr. Potato Head was the first toy advertised on television. Unlike other fruits, cranberries do not show their ripeness with color. Instead, they are sorted by bouncing. Good cranberries bounce and bad ones don't. The steam rising from a cup of coffee contains the same amount of antioxidants as 3 oranges. Too much coffee can kill you. A lethal dose of caffeine for the average adult is somewhere around 10 grams, or the equivalent of drinking between 500 and 200 cups of coffee. 50 and 200 cups of coffee in rapid succession. Cap Guchon, Vietnamese for fox tongue coffee, is made from beans that have passed through the digestive system of a civet cat. With its long, sensitive snout, this finicky eater sniffs out the ripest coffee beans. Only the hardiest beans survive the digestive process intact, and according to aficionados, when brewed, exhibit notes of wine, blueberries, caramel, and chocolate. Civet honey-like secretion from a civet cat's genitals gives off an unpleasant fecal odor, but in the right proportion transforms perfume into an aphrodisiac. Civet helped create the allure of the original Chanel No. 5. In 2005, the New York Times carried the headline, "Good smell perplexes New Yorkers." The reported phenomenon was a mysterious maple syrup scent wafting over the city. The smell's source was never identified. Although the word ghetto today connotes impoverished urban centers, it originally pertained to quarters where Jews were forced to live, irrespective of social class. In Venice in the early 1500s, Jews were housed on an island with an iron foundry. The Italian word for foundry is ghetto. Pretzels originated in northern Italy around AD 610. An Italian monk gave them out to children who would learn their prayers. He called the strips of baked dough, folded to resemble arms crossing the breast, prestiole, Latin for little rewards. The world's oldest surviving recipe is a formula for making beer. It was discovered outside Baghdad in 1850 on a 3,800-year-old Sumerian clay tablet. 2 other tablets contain what are believed to be drinking songs. Cleavage has nothing to do with breast size or shape. Women with concave rib cages exhibit cleavage, while those with convex rib cages don't. The largest human cell is the female ovum.
The smallest is the male sperm. Drosophila bifurca, a species of fruit fly, produces sperm that is nearly 6 centimeters long when fully uncoiled, though roughly 1,000 times longer than human sperm and 20 times longer than the fruit fly itself. There are roughly 144,000 mosquitoes for every person on Earth. Malaria mosquitoes are attracted to ripe Limburger cheese and smelly feet. The odor protein given off by the cheese was found to be structurally similar to human sweat. Mosquito repellent doesn't repel mosquitoes. It blocks their sensors so they don't know where you are.
A fetus acquires fingerprints by the end of the first trimester. Every 20 minutes, the world's human population increases by 3,500. In the same time, one or more species of animal or plant life is wiped out, roughly 27,000 species per year. Bookworms are actually beetles. They proliferate in libraries where dust, dirt, heat, and darkness and poor ventilation are prevalent. The mature female lays her eggs on the edge of books or in the crevices of bookshelves, and when hatched, the larvae burrow into the books. Dr. Seuss wrote Green Eggs and Ham after his editor challenged him to produce a book using fewer than 50 different words. The first chapter of Joseph Heller's landmark Catch-22 was published in the quarterly literary magazine New World Writing No. 7 in 1955 under the title Catch-18. The same issue carried a chapter from Jack Kerouac's On the Road, published under a pseudonym. In 2003, the personal fortune of J.K. Rowling, best-selling British author of the wildly popular Harry Potter books, surpassed that of the Queen of England. Winston Churchill had a heart attack in the White House while straining to open a bedroom window. Damn. Members of the U.S. Congress are the world's highest paid legislators, and they're also the most useless. Let's see, I've been talking for about 7 minutes, so I'm going to wrap this one up because it's 1 o'clock and I have to try and get my sleep schedule back on because it's been almost completely reversed over the last week. So I've been falling asleep at like 3 and waking up naturally around noon, but I have to wake up at 6 for school.